So yes, I'm going to talk a little bit about the new master in sustainability that we have at the University of Bergen, and in particular at our center, the Center for Wetenschapstheorie. And I'm talking about this master now here because we have a component of internship, and that's what I'm going to focus on. So just before I start, I wanted just to open up with a little quote from one of our close colleagues, Sheila Jasanoff, who actually won the Holberg Prize this year. And she said something that is very relevant to all of us here. She said, education should be about nurturing meaningful skills that the students can use in the world to do their own new different things. And I think that's kind of a nice umbrella quote, if you want, for what we're trying to do here in our master in sustainability. It's like we really try and create skills that are usable and useful for coming up with new knowledge or innovations and critical thinking. And this is, of course, a very good way of doing this is through the internship component that we offer in our master. So this is the master. We have it's a very new master. It started only last year. It has been designed and organized, and it is coordinated at our center, the Center for Wetenschapstheorie. You see the nice building here. It's us, and so it's a 2-year master that focuses on sustainability, trying to address issues of sustainability, and that can be. It relates to Ellen's presentation because she talked about transdisciplinarity. We are more at interdisciplinary level. We talk about climate, energy, technology. Of course, transport and mobility is a huge core of it, and all sorts of conflicts, biodiversity, and so on. So we talk about these issues and we try and see how we can address them, or that's what we try and teach. So the master, very quickly, but if you have more questions, I can expand later. It's a 2-year master. And the first year, the students have the students have courses mostly in the different ways of knowing. So how do we come to know the world as it is, the complex, messy world with lots of uncertainties? How do we come to know it? And they also have courses on the interdisciplinary approaches to sustainability. That sustainability problems, have very complex aspects, and they often cannot be approached by one single discipline, and that you need a team around you and different actors from different sectors to be involved to understand these problems. So that's the first semester. And the second semester, they have a whole period where they try and use models to think about sustainability issues. I just wanted to ask as well that they are put in interdisciplinary groups to work also on 2 concrete sustainability cases. One of them, I don't know if you are familiar with Bergen, most of you, but it's about the Store Lungegårdsvann case, which is heavily polluted, and yet people continue to bathe in it and so on. So it's kind of a very interesting problem, and they are looking at it in interdisciplinary groups. And the other one is the Klimasøksmålet, and they also look at the legal processes around the different national, global levels of this issue. So that was kind of the first year. And the second year, either they choose to do an internship, or an internship-based thesis, or they choose to do a research-based master thesis. And it's supervised by one of us at the Center for Wetenschapstheorie and another person from another faculty, so that we keep this interdisciplinary component. I want to now focus a little bit on the internship. So that's what is interesting here for us, and it's the second year. So this second year, so we have now the first students starting on their internships. It's the year is divided in two. So the first semester, the fall semester, the one we are in, it's the internship itself. So the students are off in organizations for between 12 to 16 weeks. A 5-day week generally, and then the flexibility of it, of the hours and so on, is negotiated with a contract. It's 30 study points, that internship, and they have to write at the end a report based on their observations, field notes, participation in daily tasks and so on, about the experience of the internship. And the aim of it is really to give the students this experience-based insight into how sustainability is concretely addressed in a business or in an NGO or in an organization. So we really want them to link the theory of what they learned in the courses and the practice with a concrete environment. And of course, with that intention, it's to prepare them to professional life a little bit more, to learn to work with particular deadlines or ways of being organized and so on. And it's also these internships, even though they are not mostly that, they can be a recruitment channel, because now we have students that might continue in the organizations that they are working with. So that's also, but it's the particularity that, and the thing we want to emphasize here is that our internships, we really see it as a two-way collaboration. It's of course, the internship place offers this interesting, interactive environment for the students to grow its experience, but it's also the student that comes with a sustainability perspective in the organization that the internship takes place. So it's really coming with the knowledge, the creative ways of thinking about sustainability, and trying to introduce elements of sustainability in the organization. And then the second semester, so after Christmas, they start to write the thesis, where they formalize their reflections, and that's also 30 study points, and supervised by an interdisciplinary team again. So for our master, we have 16 students this year who are involved in the thesis program. 8 are doing an internship-based thesis, and 7 are doing the research-based thesis. And that was kind of a surprise to us to see how many were actually choosing the internship, because we are very research-based at our center. So it shows the needs and the curiosity and the interest for these types of setups of internships and partnerships between businesses, organizations, and the university. And our students, the 8 students, they are shared across several organizations. They work at UN Global Compact, Naturvernforbundet in Hordaland, this pensionsselskap KLP, VIL, or in particular VIL-MER, which is this organization with architects and designers and people who rethink the city and how to live in the city. And there's a Lerøy seafood group, and also the Lerøy ocean forest group. So they are there's two students there, and the SFECO, which is an European engineering organization. So they are there. Yes, and then before I finish, I want to just give an example of a student who's working on a project, and she's working on the Hordfast project. I guess you're all familiar with this project of this highway, and she's at the Naturvernforbundet. And what she does typically, so that's kind of a typical example of one of our internships, is that she analyzes how impact assessments around the Hordfast project are made. So she really brings this critical sustainability look into how are they built, these impact assessments? Because there's so many debates around them. So why? So what is it in the timeline, in the process, in the actors who are involved in building these impact assessments? Of course, which type of expertise is involved? Which type of expertise is left on the side? What kind of uncertainties exist, and how are they taken into account? What kind of risks? What kind of benefits? How are they weighed? So she kind of brings this critical sustainability perspective to a project that is quite big and national and important. And so she's going to do some interviews of key actors. She's reading key reports. Okay. And her hypothesis here that she's working with at the moment, it might evolve a bit, but she says that in these impact assessments, there's they try to reconcile things that have a price tag and things that don't have a price tag, and that it's really difficult, and that most of the debates here are concentrating around that. So we have let's say the number of ferries that would be avoided, or how many cars on the road, or the limits, the commuting time would be much faster. All these things can have a number or price on it. And on the other side, you have biodiversity or landscapes, nature in general, cultural heritage, and that doesn't have a price tag, right? Or it's difficult to put a number on these things, or impossible to put a number. So and we have those kind of criteria, and so her reflection is, okay, is there a way to address this gap, and can we find new criteria to put into those impact assessments? So it's quite a constructive but critical kind of step here. Okay, and then I guess the most important slide now is that if you want to contact us, so now we're in the second year, so we're going to have soon our second year students, or who will be looking into doing internships. They are going to start to look into places to do the internships. On the 1st of November, so very soon, in about 10 days, we have a first information seminar for our master students. It's just something small with us, the teachers, and them. But if you want to contact one of us, so it's me, and Kjetil Rometveit is the coordinator of the master. Roger Strand is teacher as well in this master. There's our email addresses. If you want to contact us, or Connect that can contact us after, we could put you on a list of suggestions for the master to pick the place for the internship. But I just have to say that it's the students who choose their place for internship, but it's nice for them to have options, several options. Okay, thank you.